Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We begin with Joao Cancelo as Barca and Manchester City have reached agreement in principle over a loan to buy deal for Joao Cancelo. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barca duo um, could miss Cadiz and Villarreal matches due to registration difficulties. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So, guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. It appears that Joao Cancelo is all set to join FC Barcelona from Manchester City in the coming days, after it was reported that the 29-year-old was just a step away from signing for the La Liga champions. There seems to be a major development in that operation. Indeed, Jordi Gill of Sport is reporting that Barcelona and Manchester City have reached an agreement in principle over Joao Cancelo deal after immense negotiations that went on for a while. So Barca and Manchester City has had been locked in talks for Cancelo for some time now, with George Mendes mediating the discussions. A breakthrough in negotiations appeared to have been reached earlier this week, and the two teams have now agreed a deal in principle. As per the report, Cancelo will join Barcelona on a season-long loan deal with a purchase option worth a little over 30 million euros embedded in that deal. The buy option is understood to be non-mandatory, and will depend on certain objectives being met, such as the Portuguese international playing in 70% of Barca's official matches and the club reaching the UEFA Champions League round of 16. Xavi has been pushing so hard to sign Cancelo to reinforce the right back position, an area that has been an issue for Barca for way too long now. The 29-year-old will arrive to be the undisputed starter in that position, allowing the likes of Araujo and Jules Koundé to continue playing in their natural centre-back roles. With an agreement in principle reached, it only seems a matter of time before Joao Cancelo lands in Catalonia. Of course, a matter of time indeed, if new reports are to be believed. Of course, since Fabrizio Romano, the most trusted transfer expert, came out the other day and brought in some positive news on this, I think we have all rights to start smiling as our solution for right back is definitely coming, you know, to fruition, as a move for Joao Cancelo looks now very, very possible as talks are almost getting done. Manchester City and Barca have come to an agreement in principle for the player to join Barcelona, according to this new report. And it's just a matter of days. We're just talking about some days, then we can now be hearing the announcement official from both Barca and City about the deal being reached. And of course, Cancelo have always been pushing for a Barca move himself ever since issues started with Man City and Pep Guardiola, to be specific. The right back has always been pushing for a move to Barcelona as he really wants to play under Xavi. Xavi has been communicating with the player as he have always done with all the transfer targets, try to discuss his project with the player and stuff like that. And of course, knowing how the style of play also looks similar to that of City, Joao Cancelo have always fancied a move to Barca. He have also been rejecting offers elsewhere, you know, amid these rumors linking him to Barca, knowing fully well that, things will go through well and he wants to play only for Barca after leaving Manchester City. So it will not be a permanent move, as we all know. It's going to be a loan move, and this report is saying that it will be a little over 30 million euros. We don't know the exact amount, but a little over 30 million euros in buy option. A loan move with an option to buy at the end of this season with over 30 million euros. I think that's averagely good for Barca, but let's also take note that it is not a mandatory purchase option. That is, if Barca are not satisfied with the player's, attitude or whatever, his performance, Barca still have the right to say, look, we're not going to buy him. We'll send you back to Man City. So I think that's a better way to do it. I say that would be a good transaction. We don't have we're not bound by any right that we must buy Cancelo at the end of the season. So let's just see how the coming days will look like as an agreement or an announcement is expected. Then on to the final story of discussion as the new day dawns, carrying with it the promise of a thrilling match against Cadiz. A cloud of concern hovers over Barca camp. The Catalans' financial priorities need no introduction by now, and because of the monetary constraints, Barca are struggling to register the entirety of their squad despite the La Liga campaign already underway. Barca managed to register their most crucial cogs ahead of the encounter against Getafe, but excluded Marcos Alonso, Inaki Pena, and Inigo Martinez with the intention of securing their registration at a later date. There was optimism that the pair will be officially squad members before the clash against Cadiz commences, but Ferran Correas of Sport has come out to report that it is currently difficult to register Pena and Alonso before that match. Compounding the problem, they will most likely miss the game against Villarreal too, which is far from ideal news. The report claims that Barca were hoping to get the duo's registration done with the incoming, with the income coming in from the German investment company Libero, who recently purchased a stake in Barca Vision. However, as per the terms agreed, the payment is supposed to arrive at the end of the month, and as such, Barca might have to wait until then to register Alonso and Pena. As such, the pair is unlikely to be available against Cadiz tonight, as well as the next league game against Villarreal. Xavi was keen on completing the registration of Alonso, in particular following the injury of Ronald Araujo, so that he has defensive depth in the squad, but the manager will now have to wait. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.